Good evening and welcome to this October 6, 2025 meeting of the Akron Public School Board. Before we begin, we need to move forward with the appointment of Treasurer Pro Temp and roll call. Be it resolved pursuant to Section 331323 of the Ohio Revised Code that Bruce Alexander is hereby appointed as the district's Treasurer Pro Tempore to perform all of the duties and functions of the district's regular treasurer during the period of this meeting. Is there a motion to approve Bruce Alexander as the Treasurer Pro Temp?
So moved.
It's been moved by Member Hall. Is there a second?
Second.
It's been seconded by Member Autry. Any discussion? Hearing and seeing none, roll call, please.
Ms. Autry?
Yes.
Ms. Hall?
Yes.
Reverend Harrison?
Yes.
Ms. Jackson?
Yes.
Ms. Sykes?
Yes.
1, 2, 3. Mr. Alexander, yes. 6-0.
Thank you, Mr. Alexander. And before we move on with the pledge, I would like to acknowledge the absence of Member Molnar as she is grieving the loss of her father. And so she is with her family during this time as they manage that. So our condolences and prayers are with the Molnar family. And we just ask that you would send them prayers as well. Next, as I said, we will, those who are able, please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance, led by Member Autry.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Member Autry. Next, we do have recognitions, and so I will turn that over to our superintendent.
Thank you, President Jackson. Tonight, I'm pleased to recognize one of Akron Public Schools' most valued community partners, Tommy Bruno and the Summit FM. The Summit FM has stood alongside our district as true advocates for our students. They consistently market our programs and people, provide generous scholarships to high school seniors, and their crown jewel, the Music Alive Instrument Donation Program, which ensures that financial barriers never stand between a student and their passion for music. Tonight, Mr. Bruno is here to share a significant milestone in this partnership, one that speaks to the power of community commitment and the transformative impact of the arts. Please join me in welcoming Tommy Bruno, General Manager of the Summit FM.
Thank you so much, Superintendent Outley, President Jackson, members of the board. So Music Alive at a high level is an instrument donation program. It's a recycling instrument donation program that supports students in Akron, Athens, and Struthers Youngstown City Schools. Collectively, we've procured, donated instruments to the tune of 700 total instruments. Our main partner is this district. This is where we want the lion's share of the instruments to go. So tonight we celebrate a milestone. Our instrument recycling program is officially named after retired Akron Public School teacher, Marilyn Stroud, who passed away in 2016. She volunteered at the radio station for many years, helping us collect these instruments. So tonight with me is our development specialist at the radio station, Ms. Laura Smiley, and our volunteer, Mr. Derek Jung. Tonight we're asking the board to accept the donation of an additional 14 musical instruments, beautifully restored and ready for Akron Public Schools students. Tonight's donation, which includes saxophones, snare drums, trombones, trumpets, and flutes, brings the grand total to 500 instruments donated to this school district, and that is a total of about $500,000 has been donated. So we're just thrilled to have this saxophone, and we're proud to be a partner of this school district. We know the importance of the arts. Derek?
And none of this would be possible without Brad and our friends at Taylor Band and Orchestra, who do all the assessing of the instruments, all of the repair, all the cleaning. They donate their time, their expertise, and we just want to give them a shout out. And also to our APS partner, Dawn Wilson, who's actually in the room here tonight. A great partner for us, so I just want to give her kudos as well.
We know that research shows that when a student learns how to play a musical instrument, that academic level translates to the classroom, and they tend to achieve better in the classroom as well. But they also learn self-confidence, and that's something that they'll take with them far beyond any stage or musical classroom that they could be in. So we're asking you tonight, if you happen to have an unloved instrument or an instrument in a closet or under a bed that maybe hasn't seen a whole lot of action lately, please think of the summit. We would love to take that off your hands. We'll take care of the upcycling, and we would love to get that back in the hands of a student. And you can find out all the information about the program at thesummit.fm.
Tommy and team, thank you so much for all that you do. What a blessing you have been to the district, and we are excited about the partnership and the continuation. Thank you again so much for inspiring our youth in this way. Blessing. Thank you. Next, we do not have currently any scholar board members voice to address us. We do, however, have requests to address the board. We have 2 requests to address the board. Those who have signed up, I just ask that you listen closely to our preamble that we read, as we want to adhere strictly to it. Participants will not be permitted to speak on matters related to vendors, business matters, formal complaints, grievances, specific student or student records, personnel matters, and potential or pending legal matters. Participants must speak on matters related to the business of the board. Please keep your comments to 3 minutes or less. The board will not respond, but we will assign, through the superintendent, the appropriate person to follow up. Please be sure to state your name as well as your group affiliation if there is one. The first person we have signed up to address the board is Derek Jung. Is Derek Jung here? Okay, the next person we have is Ryan Loma. What is it?
Lore,
Lore.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hi.
Hello, Mr. Lore.
Hi, I'm Ryan Lore. I'm part of the Portage Path CLC PTO, and we just had a concerned question about what's kind of going on with possible defunding for programs like Title I and stuff like that. What's being done, and kind of moving forward, what can be done to make sure things like that could be scary to be taken away from students in our community. So that's pretty much just a question.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Lore. We'll help make sure that someone follows up, and we'll address it openly at the next meeting as well.
Okay,
Thank you. That concludes those who have signed up to address the board. Are there any board member reflections? Board member community reflections? Member Autry?
Thank you, Madam President. Since we last met, I had the opportunity to attend the Love Akron Breakfast on September the 30th, and our very own Elliott Locker Room Experience received the Next Generation Changemaker Award. So congratulations to that group. And for those of you who are not aware of what that program is, it's a youth leadership initiative that engages our scholar athletes at our high schools. They do projects, symposiums, in safe, supportive spaces. And so I believe there is some money or funding attached to that award so that they can carry out the initiatives that they bring forth. So congratulations to the Elliott Locker Room Experience. And speaking of athletes, today is National Coaches Day. So thank you to all of the coaches who do so much for our students outside of the classroom. Also, back to Elliott, their PTSA was acknowledged by Ohio PTA for meeting their membership goals for the month of September. So congratulations to that student-led PTA over at Elliott. Along the same lines, I was able to drop into the Akron Council of PTAs for their meeting just to tell them thank you. I know when we had our call to action, they activated a lot of their units, and I know they were very involved with trying to get those decisions about our funding reversed. And so although it didn't work in our favor, I was happy to be able to thank them for their advocacy and to continue to encourage them in those ways, and we'll need them for even more things moving forward. And then lastly, I had the opportunity to attend the Phi Delta Kappa 70-year anniversary, and this is a sorority of educators. And it was a very nice event where they also awarded our very own Savion Wright with a scholarship, who is going to be a future educator that hopefully we'll be seeing back here working for the district in a few years. So congratulations to that group and to Savion Wright. And that concludes my reflections.
Thank you, Member Autry. Member Hall.
Thank you, Madam President. I too attended the Love Akron event. Congratulations again to Elliott High School. I had an opportunity to talk to the students and let them know about the Student Success Committee. So hopefully we can get them there and they can come and be celebrated amongst all of us. I also attended the 70th anniversary for the Phi Delta Kappa celebration, where again our superintendent spoke. One thing that she did say really stuck with me, because I'm always talking about the children that, you know, we always commend and celebrate the ones that are doing well, right? And they get the most scholarships. But sometimes we don't really celebrate the ones that are trying. You know, like that student that has a 2.0 and they're trying to get it up there and they've been working so hard. They might have issues in life and struggling and things like that, and things that we don't know about. Some of the teachers might not know about. But one thing that Mrs. Otley said was, the child who challenges you the most might be the one that will change the world. So we have to start looking at those kids too, that we might say, oh, they're bad or this, that, and the other. We got to look through all of that and really see their light, because you never know. You might be able to change and uplift a student to make them become the next president or the superintendent or whatever it may be. So I just wanted to leave everyone with that. Thank you.
Thank you, Member Hall. Member Harrison?
Thank you, Madam President. Madam President, I would like to acknowledge the loss that we have had in APS. Don't have any details and don't want to give any details, but just want to acknowledge that the APS family is suffering right now, and that we care. We care. So to those families, we care. To Jasmine Tucker's family, we care. We care. So I wanted to acknowledge that on this evening. And I also want to say we have, the board has new clusters. We are reassigned clusters 2 weeks ago, and I have the Firestone cluster. So on October 16th at 6 o'clock, I'll have a cluster-wide meeting at Firestone High School at October 16th at 6 o'clock. So any parent who is in the cluster is welcome to come, and I won't have answers if you have questions, but kind of want to just let people know the role of the board. Sometimes people think they say the board and that they can't distinguish between the board and the administration. So kind of want to let them know the role of the board and listen to any of their concerns. Again, that's October 16th at Firestone High School in the auditorium at 6 o'clock, and I'll be there till 7:30.
Thank you, Member Harrison. And maybe something that can be posted so that if parents, you know, if they want to go back or look on our website as far as maybe, I don't know how that works on the calendar for upcoming events. Okay, great. So it can be posted. And as Mr. Harrison has stated, the clusters were reassigned to give board members opportunities to become familiar with the other clusters since they already finished a year cycle. So some other board members, if you decide to do that, announce it as well. to connect. Excellent. Oh, you guys can't hear me? As loud as I am? Whoa, okay. All right, thank you. All right, are there any other board member reflections? All right, well, seeing and hearing none, we will move on to the president's report. And much of what I wanted to share, many of my colleagues have shared, and so I won't belabor that. However, before sharing any updates, I think it's very important, as Member Harrison has already acknowledged, is that we acknowledge the profound grief that our district and community are experiencing this week. 2 of our Akron Public Schools students lost their lives in what has been reported as an apparent murder-suicide. There are no words sufficient to express the heartbreak that families, friends, classmates, and staff are feeling. In addition, the recent grand jury decision regarding the death of Jasmine Tucker has stirred a wide range of emotion across our community. I received so many phone calls for both incidents on my cell phone and my office phone because many of these children I know and the children that are still grieving and affected by the death of young Mr. Tucker. And I realize that we must find a way forward. But when it is a struggle for the adults to find a way forward, how can we also equip the children? So I know we have to learn to navigate these very complex feelings, and I understand that it is very essential that regardless of what's happening, that we respond with empathy, understanding, and a commitment to care for one another. Our role as a district extends beyond academics. We are entrusted with nurturing the emotional, moral, and spiritual well-being of students. We must remain steadfast in creating an environment where every student feels seen, valued, and supported, and I believe Akron is making intentional attempts to do just that. Together, we can honor those we have lost, offer comfort to those who are hurting, and reaffirm our shared responsibility to guide our students with compassion, integrity, and hope. On behalf of the Board of Education, I again extend our deepest condolences to the families and all who have been affected. Our hearts are heavy, as we are sure yours are. And our prayers are with the entire Akron Public School family and Akron community during this unimaginable time. Again, may we move forward with unity, care, courage, as we support one another during these moments of sorrow. These student tragedies, for me, was a solemn reminder of the urgent need to strengthen how we address the mental, emotional, and social well-being of our students. I have consistently challenged both our board and district leadership to make this a top priority because our students have repeatedly been telling us through their words and their behaviors that they are struggling, and that they are struggling on various levels with numerous issues and concerns. That's why the students must be the center of everything that we do. Across this nation, youth are experiencing record levels of stress, anxiety, and depression. The Centers of Disease Control and Prevention says suicide is now the second leading cause of death among youth 10 to 24 years old. These realities demand that we move from awareness to bold, coordinated action. The time has passed for us to sit and reason and to theoretically propose ideas. We must put boots on the ground in a real way to impact change in the lives of these young people. We have to increase the access to counselors. And I know in the midst of all these budget cuts and things sound good, and This is important because this is about the children, and usually I try to move with brevity throughout this report, but I am very, like many of you, bothered by this, because when I say that Ms. Jackson's cell phone was bringing off the hook and text messages personally for children who I personally know that are impacted by this, how can we reconcile this in their young minds? Social workers and psychologists are needed in our schools. Not that we don't have them. I have to watch and reiterate everything I say. We have them, but not to the degree that we need them. The Association of School Psychologists recommend a ratio of 500 to 1, yet many districts, ours included, are far beyond that. Addressing these ratios are essential to ensuring that every child has access to early intervention and consistent support. Our continued collaboration with the ADM board and local mental health agencies is critical. It's critical because with these agencies, we can leverage our joint resources to provide tiered wraparound services for students with varying levels of needs, expand on-site telehealth counseling options, which I know the ADM provided, and they had things in the school, but there was something about where those suicide prevention and where they could post those and how would they have access to those. And these are things we need to look at. We can increase crisis intervention training for our staff, because when crisis happens in our community, it bleeds into the school community, and our staff are not equipped to deal with it, and they're going through their own trauma as well. With this said, I posit that support for Issue 1 is a district-wide investment. As we approach Issue 1 on the November ballot, which focuses on expanding fund for mental health and addiction services, I, Dr. Carla Jackson, speak on behalf of myself, as I did not convene the board concerning this. I urge the community to consider its direct impact on public schools. Strengthen these resources means we can better partner with agencies that help us serve the whole student academically, socially, as well as emotionally. When I first came into the district, Dr. Chapman and her team and others were doing some serious work as far as with social emotional learning, and which we know to be important, and we do have things in place. We have positive behavior incentives in place, but we're still understaffed and undersourced in specific areas. According to CASEL, which is the Collaborative for Academic, Social, and Emotional Learning, emotional regulation is important in reducing certain behavior issues. It further saying that it helps to promote self-awareness, self-management, social awareness, all the things that we say that we want to see our students have and engage with. Healing happens in community. We must engage parents, caregivers, and faith-based leaders as allies in our mental health strategy, equipping them with the tools and trusted connections to support our youth outside of the classroom. As a board, we have both a moral and civic responsibility to ensure our students not only learn, but live in safety, hope, and wholeness. I really hope that this presses upon us that we can take our collective brilliance and see a way forward to better support these students. I am excited, though, on the other hand, that we do have counselors in this district that are pouring out all of their expertise and using all their connections and resources to help the students in our district. One of those counselors found at Bukto CLC, Dr. Lisa L. Sims. I am proud to recognize Dr. Sims because she has been recognized as the 2024-2025 Akron Public School Counselor of the Year. Dr. Sims is known for her compassion, her creativity, and tireless dedication to ensuring every student feels seen and supported. In my first years as a board member, when Bukto was my cluster, it was Dr. Sims who brought children around me to engage me so that I understood the mindset of the children and how I could better serve them and work for them as a board member. Her leadership has advanced academic achievement, social emotional learning, and trauma-informed practices throughout our district. One of her most impactful initiatives a small group program for ninth graders, has helped countless learners stay on track and thrive. Beyond her service as APS, Dr. Sims is an active member of the Ohio School Counselors Association and is currently running for a seat on its board of directors. Her heart for students and her commitment to uplifting counselors statewide truly reflects the spirit of Akron Public Schools. We celebrate you, Dr. Sims, and we thank you for your extraordinary service. And I personally am looking forward to your guidance to help further inform us as a district to address the mental and social-emotional needs of our scholars as well as our staff. I was able, in regards to community reflections, I met a man by the name of Warren Provenco, board member at large for the Akron Makerspace. Many of you may already be familiar with the Akron Makerspace. I was not. He shared that many creative and technical opportunities are available with this space, and it's very inexpensive, roughly $40 per month for an individual, and they have wonderful group rates for families. The reason why I feel that this is important, because when we talk about being in the community and utilizing resources in the community to benefit our district, this is one of those opportunities as I see it. I raised the question to Mr. Provenco, how can we leverage this partnership, a partnership to benefit our young innovators and entrepreneurs within APS? After all, I'm always talking about expanding our fourth E, which is entrepreneurship. I'm deeply committed to expanding this program, and it seems that somewhere like the Makerspace will be an ideal partner. So I talked about things maybe to share with him as far as collaboration, subsidized memberships or internships for APS students, joint innovation projects and design challenges, integration of Makerspace resources into our entrepreneurship and STEM curricula, showcases for students, prototypes, or community-based ventures. The young lady who came and did her science project, she showed a prototype for the hand. And Mr. Lord talks about, with program and defunding, how can we find money? These are the innovative ways that we can look to leverage resources to generate income. In my first years here as a board member, as I get ready to close, I remember going to Kenmore High School and going down into the basement of Kenmore High School, and they had the ability to manufacture and fabricate certain pieces like machinery. And I thought to myself, a lot of the old homes that have steam heat, it's hard to find people to work or parts because things are becoming obsolete. And I thought, how amazing would that be if we can leverage this type of factory work in the school system that would generate revenue because we can fabricate the pieces that are no longer available. This is the type of entrepreneurial mindset and innovation that is important that we stress when we look at other ways for us to be self-sustainable to support our own programming, even when the government fails us. My visit to I Promise, I was excited about that. Ms. Carson Heiser's fourth grade class was transitioning seamlessly. I did not hear a peep, and that was shocking for me. For those who are in education, transitions are usually the loudest and the craziest time. They were so excellent that as I looked up and I was shocked by seeing the entire class, I said, I owe y'all a pizza party. I said, Ms. J, go get y'all some pizza because this is how excellence in fact looks different. So again, I thank you all for your time. These moments from tragedy to triumph, it reminds us that leadership in education is both hard work and hard work. Whether we are responding to crisis, celebrating excellence, or expanding opportunity, our focus must remain on developing the whole child academically, socially, and emotionally. This does conclude the President's report. I thank you for listening to me as this was extended from my regular report out. Next, we will have superintendent report and updates.
Thank you, President Jackson. October is Breast Cancer Awareness Month. And Thursday, October 9th, is designated as AEA and Akron Public Schools Breast Cancer Awareness Day. All staff and students are invited to wear blue jeans and pink on this day. Each APS Building Strides captain will suggest a modest donation from staff members in support of this district-wide event. The annual Making Strides Against Breast Cancer Walk will take place this Sunday, October 12th, at Kent State Stark University campus, located at 6000 Frank Avenue, North Canton. Festivities begin at 9 a.m. and the walk will kick off at 10. We thank everyone for their support. I would like to personally invite our community and staff to North High School on October 9th from 5 to 7 for our first community meeting around the building project. So please come through October 9th, 5 to 7. We're also beginning our community showcases. I'd like to extend an open invitation to our community. Thank you to our college and career academies. At your place setting, you should find flyers that you can share around the community, extending this open invitation to discover the exciting things happening across Akron Public Schools. This October and November, APS will be hosting CCAA community showcases at each of our 7 high schools. These events are open to all. Current students of all ages, alumni, prospective students and their families, neighbors, friends, community members, and business partners. These showcases are a great opportunity for the community to tour our high school buildings, meet our dedicated staff and teachers and students who make APS special, and learn more about what we offer. Attendees will be able to explore our K-12 extracurricular programs, athletics, and student clubs, as well as receive information about enrollment and employment opportunities within our district. Additionally, these events will highlight our unique college and career academic pathways that prepare students for success beyond high school. Our first community showcase will take place at Garfield CLC. I know, look at Member Harrison perking up, President Jackson perking up. That's their alma mater, so we are going to go there first on Wednesday, October 23rd from 5 to 6:30 p.m. Full details can be found at our website at akronschools.com. We look forward to seeing everybody there. I would also like to share that we have 3 dynamic programs that we are launching for our Year of Literacy, designed to spark a lifelong love for reading and to build stronger connections across the APS community. These efforts are rooted in the belief that literacy is the foundation for lifelong learning, personal growth, and future success. Our first initiative is called One District, One Theme at a Time. It is our district-wide book club. From kindergarten all the way through 12th grade, we'll be reading around themes like kindness, confidence, and growth. And here's the fun part. Schools will compete for a traveling trophy to see who reads the most. Each winning school gets to add their own special mark to the trophy, so it becomes a one-of-a-kind symbol of our APS family. Each month, the school with the most books read in grades K to 5, 6 to 8, and 9 to 12 will earn a traveling trophy to proudly display. Our second initiative is One District, One Book, One Amazing Journey with Humphrey, a shared story for 2nd and 3rd graders and their families. Everyone will be reading the same book at the same time, so dinner conversations, car rides, and bedtime routines can all turn into story time. Families will discover the characters together, laugh together, and learn together. Students can also join fun projects like art contests and book trailers for a chance to win great prizes. And our third initiative is called Once Upon a Story Time for pre-K to third grade. I'll be reading, but I will not be alone. Each week, I'll be joined by special guest readers, principals, teachers, community leaders, maybe even a few hometown heroes. Join me on the APS YouTube channel starting October 1st, 7 p.m. You never know who might pop up to share their favorite story. Together, these initiatives aim to make reading a joyful, shared experience that unites our students, families, and schools. You can learn more about these initiatives at our ELA at apslearns.org site. And if you have any questions, just let me know. I would also like to invite everyone, if it suits your schedule, to join us when we are hosting Leadership Akron for their Education Day on October 15th. We will be located starting at Helen Arnold, but we will be traveling to different schools throughout the day. Also, October is National Bully Month. We are inviting everyone to wear, on October 15th as well, to wear orange to stop bullying. So please join us as we unite in the color of orange to recognize bullying as something we do not tolerate in Akron Public Schools. And on a final note, I would like to thank all of the council, city council members who have invited me to their ward meetings. I have been able to attend meetings in wards 1, 5, and 8, along with members of my senior staff who've joined me in introductions of ourselves and what exactly we do within APS. So if they have any questions, any concerns, they know who they can reach out to. We will continue to visit the wards throughout the year. We will also have upcoming chats with the superintendent that will be planned throughout each of our clusters. Again, this is an effort to get out into our community. I would like to thank Carla Chapman, who is helping me to establish these dates within each of our clusters to get our community out, to share concerns, but also to celebrate the great work that's happening within our schools. President Jackson, that does conclude my report.
Thank you, Superintendent. There is no Treasury report currently. Next is the approval of the previous meeting minutes. Is there a motion to approve the regular board meeting minutes for September 22nd, 2025?
So move.
It's been moved by Member Alexander. Is there a second?
Second.
It's been second by Member Hall. Any discussion? Seeing and hearing none, Treasurer Pro Temp, roll call, please.
Reverend Harrison,
Yes.
Ms. Hall,
Yes.
Ms. Autry,
Yes.
Ms. Sykes,
Yes.
Dr. Jackson,
Yes.
Mr. Alexander, yes.
Thank you, Mr. Alexander. Next is approval of the special board meeting minutes. Is there a motion to approve the special board meeting minutes for September 26, 2025?
So moved.
It's been moved by Member Hall. Is there a second?
Second.
It's been second by Member Autry. Any discussion? Seeing and hearing none. Treasurer Pro Temp, roll call, please.
Mrs. Sykes,
Yes.
Mr. Alexander, yes. Mrs. Autry,
Yes.
Mrs. Hall,
Abstain.
Reverend Harrison,
Yes.
Dr. Jackson,
Yes.
5 and 1 abstention, 1 absent.
Thank you, Vice President Alexander. Next, we will have Superintendent Personnel Recommendations.
Thank you, President Jackson. Does the board have any questions about personnel items for Section 10, personnel staff and administrators? Are there any questions for Section 11, miscellaneous? Section 12, supplemental contracts. Section 13, substitute teachers. Section 14, tutors. Section 15, support staff. Section 16, paraprofessionals. Section 17, child nutrition. Section 18, maintenance, operations, transportation. Section 19, security. Section 20, students. If there are no questions, I wish to recommend the approval of the personnel recommendations presented in categories 10 through 20.
Is there a motion to approve the personnel recommendations presented in categories 10 through 20?
I move to approve the personnel recommendations.
It's been moved by Member Autry. Is there a second? It's been seconded by Member Hall. Any discussion? Seeing and hearing none, Pro Temp Alexander, roll call, please.
Dr. Jackson,
Yes.
Reverend Harrison,
Yes.
Mrs. Sykes,
Yes.
Mr. Alexander, yes. Mrs. Autry,
Abstain 12.1, yes on the rest.
Ms. Hall.
Yes.
2, 3. Okay. Got it.
We're good. Okay, thank you, Mr. Alexander. Next, we'll have the division recommendations, resolutions, and motions. Superintendent Otley.
Does the board have any questions about the division, recommendations, resolutions, and motions for Section 22? If there,
Member Harrison.
Thank you, Madam President. The reduction in force on 22.
Harrison, I'm sorry to interrupt your mic. Yeah, thank you.
The reduction in force on 22.3, is that due to loss of funds?
yes, thank you for pointing that out. These reductions are due to the loss of our Gear Up grant. The same with 22.4. You're welcome.
Thank you, Member Harrison. Superintendent.
I wish to recommend the approval of the division recommendations, resolutions, and motions in Section 22.
Is there a motion to approve the division recommendations, resolutions, and motions in Category 22?
So moved.
It's been moved by Member Hall. Is there a second?
Second.
It's been seconded by Member Autry. Any discussion? Seeing and hearing none, Vice President Alexander?
Mrs. Sykes,
Yes.
Dr. Jackson,
Yes.
Reverend Harrison,
Yes.
Ms. Hall,
I abstain from 22.2, yes to the rest.
Mrs. Autry,
Yes.
Mr. Alexander, yes.
Thank you, Mr. Alexander. Next is our business affairs recommendation. Superintendent Outley.
Does the board have any questions for section 23?
Member Harrison.
Thank you, Madam President. On 23-9, the service contract for facilitations relating to the evaluation of the superintendent for the 25-26 school year with the leadership and learning, and it says not to exceed $6,000. My understanding, that was $3,000, but if we were going to engage with the treasurer, it would be $6,000.
No.
Okay.
So the additional is for expenses. So the 3 was for his actual salary. At the last meeting, when he met with the board, he said he had added expenses as a separate item, and instead of just leaving it blank, we went up, said not to exceed. So that would include mileage, if there's any food, if there was a reason for him to need to,
Yeah, please, Member Harrison.
He lives like 20 miles away.
Right. So, I mean, he would have to provide receipts. We would not just give money. But if he does incur expenses, that's what this is about. If he were to incur any expense within what was.
Thank you. And I would suggest, Madam President, that if his fee is $3,000 and it's not to exceed $6,000, that would be an exorbitant cushion for the services. And his services was, I think, needed. I think we do need them. I think it was something that will help us facilitate an orderly evaluation process. I'm just concerned that we went from this number to this number. So that is my concern on that.
As am I, Member Harrison. Thank you. Member Hall?
Yeah, thank you, Member Harrison, for that, because I do remember it being 3, but if we could just maybe relook at that contract before we vote on it today, or do we have to vote on it today? Okay, because I was thinking as well as Member Harrison was the superintendent and the treasurer would equal this amount. I think I asked in that meeting too, that question. So, yeah, please, thank you.
Absolutely. Thank you, Member Hall. Superintendent? For just a point of clarification, I believe because this is, we're going to be moving towards a vote on this. So either an amendment can be made to 23.9 to whereas the board can approve as understood the $3,000 for the consultant fees of the superintendent for the evaluation, not to like make an amendment for that. I was going to say we could add, because the other $3,000 was the treasurer, I remember the language. Or we can remove it, period, and get more clearer language, because I think it is clear and right unreadiness with this. Because, yes, Ms. Hall, Member Hall. No, I'm fine. That's all I was going to say. We may need to be a motion to maybe remove this, and then we can add it later, or amend 23.9 to approve for the consultant amount of $3,000. And that's what the board would approve, and we can circle that with the consultant and for clarity and whatever if something needs to change there. But the board needs to be clear on what we're getting and what we're saying, what's being said to us. Yes. Member Hall, sorry.
Thank you, Madam President. Will we be attending executive session this evening? Do we have any?
Yes, we do have executive session business, but.
Well, I wish to amend 23.9, and then maybe we can come back to it afterwards, or?
No.
Okay.
Our business in executive session is not this business,
Well,
so
then
we
need
wouldn't.
to just, okay.
Yes, ma'am. So.
Then I wish to remove it from 23.9 wish to remove 23.9, and then we revisit this.
Okay. A motion has been made by Member Hall to remove item 23.9, pending more clarification. Is there a second?
Second.
It's been seconded by Member Harrison. Any discussion? All right, seeing and hearing none. Vice President Alexander, roll call, please.
Mrs. Autry,
Yes.
Mrs. Hall,
Yes.
Reverend Harrison,
Yes.
Mrs. Sykes,
Yes.
Dr. Jackson,
Yes.
Mr. Alexander, yes.
Okay, thank you. Superintendent, we can proceed.
That concluded.
Okay. Thank you, Superintendent.
You're welcome.
Okay. Is there a motion to approve the business affairs recommendation with the said amended changes, the removal of 23.9?
So moved.
It's been moved by Member Hall. Is there a second?
Second.
It's been seconded by Vice President Alexander. Any discussion? Seeing and hearing none, roll call, please. Vice President Alexander?
Mrs. Sykes,
Yes.
Mr. Alexander, yes. Dr. Jackson,
Yes.
Reverend Harrison,
Yes.
Mrs. Hall,
Yes.
Mrs. Autry,
Yes.
6-0.
Thank you. Next, we will have our committee reports, starting with legal contract and board policy.
No report.
Thank you. Do you have your next meeting date, Vice
Yeah,
President?
we're going to mention the next meeting.
Oh, okay, thank you.
It's the 27th of October.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Next, finance and capital management.
Thank you, Madam President. The next Finance and Capital Management Committee meeting is October 27th, 4:30 p.m. in this room.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Instructional policy, student achievement.
Thank you, Madam President. No report. Our next meeting will be Monday, October 13th at 4:30 in this room.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Ms. Hall, Student Success Celebration Committee.
Thank you. I do have something to report. So we just had our first meeting, so I'm excited to share that we had our first Student Success Celebration Committee meeting that was held on Monday, September 29th. This was truly a special event. Our Scholar Board members, along with the Superintendent Advisory Board members, were invited to be recognized and introduce themselves. A lot of our students introduced themselves with confidence. They knew who they were, and they spoke it well, and they knew where they wanted to go. So I was very, very amazed with our young children. Well, students, they're not really little kids anymore. One of our highlights of the evening was seeing our Scholar Board members officially sworn in. This is the real deal. They were sworn in by Judge Connie Hightower, and they signed their oaths of office. So I just get so passionate when our students do big things, and swearing students in, that's something huge that they probably wouldn't do, So giving our students the opportunity to do something like that lets them know that their job is bigger than what they may have thought it was. We also took time to recognize 3 individuals who worked incredibly hard to support the students and schools. That's our very own Yvonne Culver, Eric Fletcher, and Jasmine Britton. Their dedication is deeply appreciated, and it was wonderful to celebrate them as well. They also received certificates. They pour their hearts out in our students, and the students respect them, they listen to them, and these are great role models for our children. And of course, with this little celebration without some sweets, we want to shout out Elliott. Mrs. Hickson's class from Elliott prepared cookies and punch with our scholars and families who enjoyed them. cookies were very, very good, really, really good. Looking ahead, at our next committee meeting will be held on Monday, October 13th, 2025, right here at 5:30. We hope to continue building the monument and creating even more opportunities to shine the light on our students and many successes. Our next meeting, we will be discussing our Grow Our Own. So please come and share your thoughts and come support our youth. Thank you.
Thank you, Madam Chair. It was an excellent meeting. There is no unfinished business, nor is there any new business that I'm aware of. However, there is a need to go into executive session pursuant to Ohio Revised Code 121.22G1 to consider the employment, promotion, or compensation of a public employee or officials, preparing for conducting or reviewing negotiations or bargaining sessions with public employees concerning their compensation or other terms and conditions of their employment. Is there a motion to go into executive session?
So moved.
It's been moved by Member Hall. Is there a second?
Second.
It's been seconded by Member Autry. Any discussion? Seeing and hearing none, roll call, please. Vice President Alexander.
Ms. Hall,
Yes.
Reverend Harrison,
Yes.
Dr. Jackson,
Yes.
Ms. Sykes,
Yes.
Ms. Autry,
Yes.
Mr. Alexander, yes, 6-0.
Thank you. We stand in recess at 6:26 p.m. for executive session. Thank you. We stand back in session from executive session at 7:37 p.m. There is an action that needs to be taken. Is there a motion to ratify the September 15, 2025 tentative agreement between the Akron Board of Education and the Service Employees International Union Local 1 Child Nutrition Employees for the term of July 1st, 2025 through June 30th, 2028?
So moved.
It's been moved by Member Hall. Is there a second?
Second.
It's been seconded by Member Autry. Any discussion? Seeing and hearing none, Vice President Alexander, roll call, please.
Reverend Harrison,
Yes.
Dr. Jackson,
Yes.
Mrs. Sykes,
Yes.
Mrs. Autry,
Yes.
Mrs. Hall,
Yes.
Mr. Alexander, yes, 6-0.
Thank you, Vice President Alexander. Is there a motion to ratify the September 15, 2025 tentative agreement between the Board of Education and the Service Employees International Union Local 1 Safety Team Employees for the term of July 1st, 2025 through June 30th, 2028?
So moved.
It's been moved by Member Hall. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Member Sykes. Any discussion? Seeing and hearing none, Vice President Alexander, roll call, please.
Dr. Jackson,
Yes.
Mrs. Sykes,
Yes.
Mr. Alexander, yes, Mrs. Autry,
Yes.
Ms. Hall,
Yes.
Reverend Harrison,
Yes.
6-0.
Thank you, Mr. Alexander. Our next meeting will be Monday, October 20th, here in the boardroom at 5:30 p.m. Is there a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
It's been moved by Member Autry. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Vice President Alexander. Any discussion? Seeing and hearing none, Vice President Alexander, roll call, please.
Ms. Sykes,
Yes.
Ms. Autry,
Yes.
Ms. Hall,
Yes.
Reverend Harrison,
Yes.
Dr. Jackson,
Yes.
Mr. Alexander, yes,
We
6-0.
we stand adjourned at 7:39 p.m.